Many Christian coaches are struggling to make sales because they don't have the right signature offer in place yet. In this episode, I'm going to teach you the 5 keys to a great signature offer that is going to be irresistible to your most ideal client. So make sure you stick around with us. I'm Justin Janowski, and this is the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. I started my first Christian coaching business in 2012. I got one paying client before I went out of business because I didn't know what to do next. In 2015, I tried again. I got 3 paying clients and once again went out of business because I felt stuck and I didn't have a system around sales and marketing. After that, I worked with a mentor who taught me how to build a business. And after 3 more years, in 2018, I launched Faith to Influence, and I did over $250,000 in revenue my first year in business. I've now worked with over 1,000 Christian coaches, helping them figure out high-integrity sales, marketing, and business design strategies that actually work and honor their values and their faith. That's what this podcast is all about. Helping you find that system around sales and marketing, and of course, making sure that you have the right business design in place. And today's about that final piece, that business design, which of course, I'm presenting to you as the final piece right now, but the truth is it's really the first piece. Can we have the right design in place so that you're ready to serve your most ideal clients? And we refer to a part of this planning as designing your signature offer. Your signature offer is the way in which you will work with your most ideal client to help them solve their problem in a way that's meaningful and a total win for you while being a total win for your clients. Every Christian coach should have 1, 2, or 3 signature offers. Oftentimes when you're new, less is more and simple is easier. And so I encourage you to consider a simple signature offer, but one that aligns with you. And there are 5 things to consider when you're putting together your signature offer. The first is the outcome of the offer. And so this makes you have to backtrack a little bit and say, well, who is this offer for? And we've got some great trainings on your mission statement. Make sure that you scroll back in the podcast and find some of those trainings on mission statement, target audience, etc. But it's so important before you design an offer that you're really clear on who your most ideal client is and what problem you're going to help them solve. We need to solve a specific problem for a specific person who's willing to pay to solve that problem. When we solve a specific problem for a specific kind of person who's willing to pay to solve that problem, everything becomes easier. Until we do that, everything's really difficult usually as a coach. So we need to have the right mission statement in place so that we can be clear on the outcome of the offer. The outcome of the offer, of course, is to solve the problem that we've set out to solve for that ideal client. That's the first thing in mind. The end in mind. People don't pay for your time. You shouldn't have a per session price or an hourly rate as a coach. I know that this is controversial, and for some of you, you haven't even imagined anything outside of an hourly rate or a per session price. But the truth is, you should not have that. People are not paying for an hour of your time. They're not paying for a session of your time. The reason people will hire you to be their coach is because they want an outcome. They want to lose 10 pounds. They want to improve their marriage. They want to scale their business to a certain level. They want to achieve a very specific outcome. And that is the reason why somebody will invest in your coaching program, why somebody will buy your offer, is to achieve an outcome. And so the first thing we need in our signature offer is clarity of what that outcome is so that we can design an offer to solve that problem, to achieve that goal, and to, of course, complete that outcome. The second thing that we need in a signature offer is we need clarity on the program length. And so once we know what the outcome is that we're trying to help people achieve, then it's valuable to consider how long might it take to help people achieve that goal or solve that problem. And not just solve it in like an immediate way. Somebody can feel inspired to exercise and work out and eat healthier. And it's so easy for people to have a day or a weekend or a week of healthy habits. But I'm talking about solving the problem long term in a way that has been enough time. Most people, when they start to solve a problem, they fall back to old patterns. In a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe in a month or 2 months, there's usually a breaking point for a lot of people where they go back to the old way that existed a lot longer than the new way. So I think your program design and the length of your program should account for that so that you are there with them as their coach, their trainer, their facilitator, whatever role you're taking on, so that you can be there when the old pattern rears its head. to help them overcome the adversity when they face it, overcome the challenge when it shows back up, and to have an anchor to the new pattern, the new way of being. And so when you think about the length of your program, there are different opportunities. When I was a new coach, I loved having a 12-month program to help my clients achieve their outcomes. A full year committed in a focused way to achieving an outcome, to solving a problem, to moving towards a goal. And that felt like a fun length of time for me, and it felt like a proper length of time to help people create lasting change. I've also had 6-month programs. I think those are wonderful. For a new coach, a 6 or 12-month program is a fantastic program length. Now, you might decide to have more of an entry-level product or program that could be 3 months, 90 days, or you could have a membership. And a membership is a month-to-month program. It's the sort of program where people could step in for 1 month and be transformed a little bit and receive some value, but they can also stay in month after month after month after month. And so it's more of an undefined amount of time with a simple monthly subscription, and that could make sense for you. But those are the most common lengths of program: a 12-month design, 6 months, 3 months, or a month-to-month membership with a subscription. So you might consider, what is the right program length for you in your signature offer? And you can write this down if you're taking notes. Win-win or no deal. This is what we want to design in our offers. So when we think about the program length, the outcome, and everything else I'm going to share next, make sure that when you're designing your program, you're thinking about your client, your ideal client, and how you can help them in creating something that's beautiful and wonderful for them, and that you're also creating something that is a total win for you. It's got to be a win for both sides. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. It's not going to work. Or your prospects and clients aren't going to give you referrals if you don't do a good job on their end, right? Both sides are really, really important. Win-win or no deal. So we have to design something that works for both, but figure out that program length. The third thing after your outcome and program length that you need in your signature offer is clarity on the deliverables. What is going to be included in your offer? How are you going to help people get this outcome? Your offer could be just one-on-one coaching. Your offer could be just group coaching calls, where you're facilitating either a group training or a group discussion on a weekly basis on Zoom. Your offer could include live events. I've known some offers that are just, you get 3 live retreats every single year. Some offers include pre-recorded courses or other resources. Some offers include access to you in other ways, whether it's on Zoom or in person or via text or an app, a messaging app. Some offers include immersive days or VIP days. And there's all kinds of other things that you could consider including in your offer. The question is, what can you put together that feels like it would help your clients achieve their goals and that would also be fun for you? I always invite my clients to consider, when they're putting together their offer, asking themselves the question, is this fun for me or is this heavy? And if it feels really heavy, then maybe it's not the right thing for you. It should feel relatively fun. Now, let's distinguish between heavy and scary. Sometimes things that are going to be fun for us are scary at first, and we just need to get over the fear. And so it's a good deliverable for our program, and we just have to do it scared a few times, get the repetitions to grow our confidence. But if it's something that's just like heavy for you in general, it's not fun, it's going to burn you out, let's not include that in the offer. And so you'll recognize as you start running programs and working with clients, you'll learn, do you like one-on-one coaching, or is it really heavy for you? Too much one-on-one coaching is heavy for me. A little bit of it I like, but too much one-on-one is heavy. Whereas I get a tremendous amount of energy from leading a group call. It actually gives me more energy rather than taking away. One-on-one can exhaust me at the end of a day of it. And so I've learned over time that for me, what I love, what's fun for me is group calls. You might learn the same, or maybe you'll be the opposite. Maybe you'll be like, leading a big group feels heavy. One-on-one coaching, though, inspires me and fires me up and feels good. And maybe you like both. And you can absolutely have just a one-on-one coaching program. You can have just a group coaching program, or you can have something that combines multiple elements of these things. You could have a weekly group call for 6 months and a one-on-one call each month for the 6 months as well, and one retreat during the 6-month program. You could absolutely combine multiple components into an offer. That is what we would call an offer stack. When you get this and this and this, and it costs this much. And I really like a program that has multiple avenues to help people. If you're an online course person, I don't love selling those by themselves because I know very few people actually watch the online course and get the value as much as they appreciate having the resources available to them. Most people don't follow through. I like having a course and pre recorded content to share in a program where I'm providing value in other ways. And what I know is if I'm running group calls, and I'm also running one on one, and I've got some online training resources. Well, I'm going to support different people in different ways. Somebody who can't make the online group call time can still listen to and watch the recordings or watch the course. Somebody who isn't going to click and watch the course, they know themselves, like they'll show up live to the group calls because engaging live is different. And for some people, they learn in the group environment and they're inspired by the relationships with others. But for some people, they just have something vulnerable to share and they need a one-on-one coach. They need a mentor. They need that time one-on-one to learn how to personalize and implement the content for themselves. And so having multiple facets or having like a live retreat along with the virtual stuff creates that in-person environment. Again, I don't want to overwhelm you. You don't need to do all of these things. You need to ask yourself which of these things sound fun and compelling and relatively light for me right now in this phase of business that I'm in. Doesn't mean you can't add other things later or change things later, but you might consider having one or two or three of these kinds of components in your offer for a defined amount of time to help people solve a specific problem. After you have your outcome, your program length, and your deliverables decided, then you need to create a value for the program. And so if you're including 6 one-on-one coaching calls and 26 group calls and 1 retreat in a group program for 6 months, then we need to assign a value to each piece. We need to say, how much is that retreat worth? Maybe your retreat's worth $1,000 or $3,000. That's the value of it. Or $5,000 or something different. Maybe your one-on-one coaching calls are worth $250 each, or $500 or $1,000 or something different, but you assign a value to each. And then maybe your group calls are worth $100 or $150 or $250 or something else. You assign a value to it. And then based on the number that are included in the program, you can create a true value stack. So in the example I'm giving out loud that you have a 6-month program and they get 26 group calls, they get one every week for 6 months. Maybe your group calls are worth $100. That's $2,600 of value. Your one-on-one coaching calls might be worth $250 each and you're providing 6. That's $1,500 worth of value. And maybe your retreat is worth $2,000. That's $2,000 worth of value. That is a total, if my math is right, of $6,100 worth of value. This program's worth $6,100 for 6 months. Now, you don't need to charge that price. You absolutely could. You could say, this is the price. This is what it's worth. This is what it costs. And they're not buying just one one-on-one coaching call with you. They're not buying just one group call. They're not buying just one retreat. They're buying the whole package, the program. They're buying the outcome. And so you might decide to reduce the value to a lower price. Excuse me, you're not reducing the value, of course. The value is going to remain high, but you may decide to give them a great price on the value of this program. And that's the final piece, the 5th piece. Once you have the outcome, the program length, the deliverables, and the value of your program is to actually price it and have payment options to know how can people take the next step and buy right now. And so if that $6,100 program is your offering, and maybe let's say you included some pre-recorded training resources also, and you had a $500 course in there. This is a very complex offer. You don't need something this complex, but let's say it was $6,600 worth of value. Then you might say it's $6,600 worth of value, and you can pay $1,000 a month for 6 months. So we're taking the price down from $6,600 to $6,000, and we're offering them $1,000 a month payment plan. And we could say if you pay in full, you get 1 month free, and it's only $5,000. So it's either 6 payments of $1,000 a month, or it's $5,000 for the program. When I'm designing a 6-month program, I like to give them 1 month free to pay in full, because that's a win for both of us. If I'm doing a 12-month program, I like to give them 2 months free to pay in full. So if you had a $6,000 program that was 12 months, then I like to say it's $500 a month or $5,000 for the year. You get a couple months free if you pay in full. But of course, you need to be clear on how can they pay for it? How much does it actually cost for them to do this work with you? These are the 5 components of a great offer. Clear outcome, designed for a specific product, a specific client solving a specific problem, a clear program length, clear deliverables that are fun for you and a total win for your client, clear value of the program, and figuring out what the price and payment options of your program are going to be. Now, I know some of you, you've already got a developed business and offer, and this is a good refresher, and maybe it's helping you clarify some things and you can optimize on your own. For others of you, you're hearing about offer design for the first time, and you're like, how do I design the value? How much are these different things worth? And if that part feels heavy or scary, I totally get it. I'd love to provide you with some more help. But we've got an opportunity for you to learn how to design your offer, figure out who your mission statement ideal client is, and also learn how to open a sales call, some of the foundations of starting your coaching business. So if you're early on in this, or know you need to come back to the starting line and build a better foundation, I want to offer you to go to www.salesisgood.com and take our 4-day challenge. This is pre-recorded. It's 4 days of trainings. Salesisgood.com. It's $7 to sign up for this training. So we are charging for it, but not much. We want to make it really easy for you to say yes and receive this training. Salesisgood.com will help you with your mission statement and target audience, will help you with your offer design, and will help you open a sales call well. Salesisgood.com. God bless you. I hope this has been helpful. Let's make great signature offers that are a win for us and a win for our clients and serve the kingdom and fulfill the mission that we're called to. And let's do it the right way. I'll talk to y'all soon. See you next week.